Hi YouTubers, welcome back to another video here on the Snowy Valleys Division layout. And today we're doing a install video, and we're going to be showing you how to install the Broadway Limited Imports GOPack, which is a little capacitor or battery, and we're going to be installing it in the BLI Streamline K4, as we've been having a few issues with its running capacity at the moment, and so this battery should give it a bit of boost if we have a power loss or a dirty track. And the tools we'll be using are a set of pliers right here and two screwdrivers, and then we have a foam cradle for placing the locomotive in so we don't damage any parts. So now we'll commence the video and we'll show you how it's done. Okay, so just before we begin the installation, we'll quickly run over the two different ways you can install this GOPack. Beginning with the first way being the plug and play operation, which consists of putting this little plug into a socket in the tender. And the way you know that your locomotive can use this plug is by looking at its package or box, and it should say accepts GOPack on a little sticker, and I believe this is on all the new locomotives as of 2020. So anything older than that, I believe, won't accept this with the socket and the plug. And obviously the second way is to cut off the plug and solder it into the decoder yourself. So now we'll move on to the installation, of which we'll be doing the plug and play.
Okay, first step to start with the installation is to remove the tender from the locomotive itself. So first you need to disconnect, just putting away until you hear a little noise like showing the plastic is disconnected, and then you need to unplug the plug from the under the locomotive. So turn around very careful so you can see the plug with all the wires connected to the tender locomotive. So if you use a screwdriver, very careful, you put in the plug until you have it just a little disconnected, and then you can pull with some pliers away. Just be careful with the wires, slowly, and that's it. So now you can see the locomotive is disconnected. Okay, the other thing is use always something soft to prevent any damage into the paint. Okay, so now we move the body and we will place the tender over the foam. So normally the Broadway Limited tenders, they have 2 screws in the middle or 4 in each corner. So you take a fillet screwdriver and you start unscrewing the screws. Okay. Always place the screws in a good area so you can recover it. We don't need to apply a lot of pressure. The screws are coming very easy, especially when the locomotive is new. So we have all the screws loose. Okay. This one needs a little more. Now we remove, and you can see the decoder. To make this job much easier, you can remove the light, the connector of the light of the tender. So there is a plug, so just pull slowly and then you disconnect the tender. Okay? So now we have the decoder exposed. So the first thing you need to do is just remove the tape. When you remove the tape, you expose the decoder and all the connectors, and you can see here that's the plug, the socket where you need to connect the plug of the GOPack. Okay, how you know it is because it has 3 pins there inside. The GOPack has a socket for 3 pins. So the pins are for the negative wire, the positive wire, and the brown wire in the middle that controls a CV, so you can disconnect the battery using CVs instead using the plug. So when the socket is totally exposed, just you take the plug. So the way it goes is the wires into the decoder, so to the main body of the decoder. So it's only one way you can plug it. And you don't need a lot of force, just go there and just, that's it. So it's there in position. So recheck, you can pull in. That's it. So now it's in. So now what you need to do is just find space to put the battery. So you can use double tape, you can use blue tack, whatever is better for you. So there is a perfect position. So what I'm going to do is just glue it there with double tape, and then we start the process to put everything together again, and we go into the trucks to test it.
Okay, as you can see now, we have stuck the battery onto the tender, and now we'll begin reassembling the tender. Simply the plug goes back in. Place the die-cast body part onto the trucks, and we'll place that back onto the foam cradle and put the screws back in. And the GOPack with the plug is a much easier and simpler way of installing a battery instead of the traditional way of soldering. And as you've seen, it's been extremely quick and not complicated at all. And now the last part is to reattach the tender to the boiler. And all done. Now we'll put it on the track and test how this GOPack runs. Okay, so now we have the K4 on the track and we've put the power on, and as you can see the locomotive's turned on And we recommend just before you start moving the locomotive around, you let it sit for a couple seconds and charge the battery. And now we'll demonstrate the capacity of this battery. As you can see, it lasts quite a number of seconds, which is more than enough for any locomotive. And we rate this product exceptionally well, easy to install, and as you can see, it lives up to its expectations. And yeah, the GOPack is a really fabulous product. So that'll wrap up the video. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below, and we'll see you in the next one.